One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
I like when birds come out. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey.
We welcome you back to the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. You haven't missed a thing as we're just about set for the opening kickoff. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. First carry for Devontae Booker. Space to maneuver at the 40. Devontae Booker, the 20, 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the first play of the game. 69 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. Out of the gun, Keenum. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Ooh, the juke. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Raiders. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 23. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Carr to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive, got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Shifts by him. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Completes it right side to Cooper. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They go play action here on 1st down. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Carl come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Carr, and this is caught. It's Cooper. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return is Henderson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Play fake here on 1st down. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Heuerman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the 1st quarter of play. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Keenum. And the Raiders have got him. Tahir Whitehead. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Whitehead, the Temple product, in a new uniform this season.
Yeah, moving over from Detroit now to the Oakland Raiders. And what they're going to love about him, his consistency. He shows up each and every week, understands the defense fully, and roams and makes a lot of tackles.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Let's go,
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. Got him in. He finds Sanders. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lawrence Timmons coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Out of the backfield, this is Devontae Booker. Booker coughs it up, and the Raiders pick it up. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They start the drive with Lynch. Lynch busting free. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Room to run inside the 40. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. They feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Again, it's Richard. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble, because now you've got a guy that's played so well, you don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Keenum now on second down, and incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2 having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Running for it. Here's Lynch. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, When they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That's complete right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
To throw is Keenum. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Bryant. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Sammy Watkins, a touchdown catch in the victory. We'll stay in the AFC North as we head over to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 20-7 was your final. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Looking to throw on second down. Carr. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Adam Gotsis in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They do go for it. It's Carr. Cooper's got it. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders have moved out in front. So it was 4th down. They complete the short pass, and then boom, off to the races all the way to pay dirt.
And so many times in short yardage situations or on downs like this on 4th down, the defense gets a little more aggressive to pop it, right? Complete a pass like that, it can break big afterwards, and that's exactly what we saw there. Short pass, long run.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. On the return is Henderson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Bruce Irvin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On the handoff, this is Booker. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Khalil Mack. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll look to set up his blockers. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Lynch. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
694.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Hard throw, incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's brought down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
He's set, and this is caught inside the 5. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Keenum. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Again, Keenum. This will be caught at about the 5. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Keenum now on 3rd and goal. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And some room to work. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. 1st down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? Do you see the coaches signaling? All the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Throwing now is Keenan. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
The pitch out to Lynch. A little juke, and he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, Carr. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenan. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That one goes for 24 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Keenan now A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Booker on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Todd Davis. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, if it's coordinated, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Now a 1st down throw. Keenum. This is Booker on the dump off. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Keenum. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Again, they'll throw with Keenum. He's going to let it fly. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So the field goal got him back within 1 score, and now the focus lies on this onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, 7:34. 29.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. And what are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. And he's got Hireman. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Raiders, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 35. Ball for me. Ball for me, yeah. Ball for me. Ball for me, yeah. I'm on the road, I'm getting paid like what you want,